Hey guys, so for this next part, we're going to be going over diagnostic audiograms. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to pick your transducer. You can do inserts, you can do headphones, or high frequency headphones. So these would be the headphones, and then inserts look like this. This would be for air conduction, so this is what would be going into the ear normally when you are listening through the air. So if you were going to do bone conduction, you would use this headband right here, and this would go on the mastoid bone right here. Okay, so let's start with air conduction. We're going to use the headphones. You should wear those. And we are going to make sure that these cover the entire ear and that it's a good fit. Okay, now for the audiogram, we are going to be starting in the right ear at 30 decibels. And we're going to be doing a modified Houston-Westlake procedure, which means that when you're presenting, you're going to start at 30.
Ooh, this is also a response button. And so some have response buttons, some you'll have to modify just depending on the patient, but you'll instruct the patient, when you hear the tone, you'll click the button. So Amanda will present the tone.
Yes. So starting at 30, present.
I hear it, so I'll click the button, and you can see it show up right here that I clicked the button.
So from there, we're going to go down 10. So that would put us at 20. We're going to present. She responded. So we're going to go down 10 again. We're now at 10. And each time that you present, you should be pressing it down for about 3 seconds. So don't press it too long or too short so that they have enough time to recognize the presentation. So we're going to go down 10 again since she responded. 0. She responded. Now let's pretend that she didn't respond here. So we know that she heard at 10 and we know that she didn't hear at 0. So we're going to go up by 5. Present. She responded. Okay, so we're going to go back down to 0. Let's say she didn't respond here. So we're going to go up to 5. She responds. This is where we're going to mark our threshold, store.
So a threshold is 2 ascending trials. So what that means is when you're going up in intensity, 2 times that they respond at that level, that is your threshold.
So if we go to the next frequency, we were at 1,000. Now we're going to go up to 2,000. We're going to go back to 30, which is where we're always going to start. She responded, so we're going to go down 10. Responded, so we're going to go down 10 again. We're now at 10 decibels. Let's say she didn't respond at 10. We're going to go up 5. She responded, so we're going to go down 10 again. So now we're at 5 decibels. She responded, so we're going to go down to 0 again. She responded. Let's try one more time at 0. She responded, so we're going to store this. Now we've stored our threshold, and we can move on to the next frequency. We're going to be doing this from 250 hertz to 8,000 hertz. That's our range that we're going to be doing it in.
And when you're deciding, so hearing loss can be both conductive and sensory neural. And so to rule out if it's conductive and sensory neural, that's kind of where the bone oscillator comes in. And so in those situations, you can put the bone oscillator on like so, and then Amanda would play tones, she'd get a threshold. But bone oscillators, it has what's called a 0 dB intraoral attenuation. So when you are pressing the button for the bone oscillator, even if it's placed on this ear, you'll be able to hear it in the other ear. And so to differentiate between the 2 ears, you can do what's called masking, which you can put in an insert headphone or even a normal headphone and just place it a little differently into this ear and just play noise so that when the beeps come into this ear, I know that the response is coming from this one, and that helps differentiate between the ears. Amanda can also wear this, which is like a headphone with this speaking spout, I guess. And through this, she can do what's called speech testing. And so in audiology, our two main speech tests are SRT, which is speech reception threshold, as well as word recognition, which is our second threshold. SRT is when they'll be repeating words back to you that you say to them. Word recognition is when you run through a list. And so this can also give us some indication on differential diagnosis and confirm the levels of our pure tones.
Mm-hmm.
Missing anything?
I don't think so. So if we were doing bone conduction, we would switch to bone, and then we would start at 30 once again, or you can start closer to your threshold if you're at 0.
So I heard that. I'm just gonna raise my hand that I heard that.
Mm-hmm. And then you would do your modified Houston Westlake once again. You'd go back down by 20, go down by 10, or going down by 10, 20 to 10. 0, she raised her hand, so we're gonna do 0 one more time. And then we're gonna store, and that's gonna be our bone. And you can see on here, let me get it a little closer, the different symbols for each ear, and then between air conduction and bone conduction. You can see that it's a little bit of a triangle right there.
For instance, for the right ear, it's gonna be red circles, and then the left ear, let's just put in let's just do this, and let's do tones. And then if we store there, then you can see that that is a bone conduction. So bones are arrows, and bone conduction opens up to the side that you're testing. And then, for instance, if we put in some masking noise into one side, that when you store this threshold, it's gonna have a, so this is masked for air. It's gonna be a triangle instead. For the left ear, it would be a square. And then if you're masking bone on the right side, it will be, it'll be a bracket rather than an arrow, and vice versa for the left.
That's it.